Hello and welcome to day 4 of Summerween. This is going to really age me, but if there's anybody who's also been on YouTube for like 15, 20 years, you might remember. If not, this is gonna sound so crazy. There was this YouTuber, Miss Glamorazzi, Ingrid Nielsen, who had Summer's Eve in her shower in her like bathroom tour, and it created such a controversy, I can't even explain it. It must have been literally the first time a beauty guru had acknowledged the fact that she had a vagina on the internet. And everyone was treating it like it was the craziest thing to ever be seen in a bathroom. It was like, how could you show that? How could you acknowledge that you have genitals? Your audience is so young, like this is so sexual. It was crazy. Nowadays, your favorite influencer could post a link to their OF and you barely probably bat an eye. Today, I have my bee shirt on, and this has something to do with bees. I don't think it's a bee story, but there are bees like related somehow. I think there's just this place that has a lot of honey and people are eating the honey, and there's very limited food. So then they start to eat animals, and maybe they eventually start to eat each other. This is The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. I read The Death of Jane Lawrence a couple years ago for the Literally Dead Book Club. Not many of us loved it, but she's doing such unique things and these genre combinations that I am very intrigued by. So I grabbed this from Aardvark. I absolutely love this edition. I think it's so beautiful. And this was the book that when I posted today's video, a couple people mentioned pretty early on that they want to see my thoughts on. So I feel like this is a good first pick. Though it's Liam's birthday, I have a couple hours today without my family because they are out golfing. That's what Liam wanted to do on his birthday, was golf with his dad in the golf cart, rip around the course. We had the family celebration this morning, opened presents. Liam was very excited to see his new golf club and bag. I got him a card with a pizza on it. And after they go golfing, they're actually gonna go visit Rob's parents and then come home, and then we're gonna go see my parents. If Liam is up for it, we can laugh about it now. Liam was not well yesterday. Everything's fine now, I think. He had a rough 12 hours, but now he's feeling fine, and he has no like flu symptoms. So they're out and about. I guess I'll just check in with you when I have a better idea of the vibes of this. All right, so here's my thing. I am reading this and understanding enough to keep reading it, but I'm not understanding enough to like explain it to someone else. It is medieval fantasy horror. I haven't gone to any real horrifying moments or descriptions except for like there's a little bit of honey and bee stuff that feels like a vibe. I made it to chapter 20 and it's like 5 p.m. So I've been reading this for a long time and it's really easy to put down. I like it enough like to continue, but this one is definitely not conducive to a readathon. So not my best decision. Actually, this wasn't my decision. This was yours. You told me to do it. I think a lot of people just wanted to know if they need to read it. And I don't know if I will be able to offer you that. There are 3 different women in here, and I don't even know how to pronounce their names. Summerween, Fawzin, Trayla, and they've just gotten to a point where they are interacting, and they're all different kind of people. There's like a knight, former royalty. The castle is descending into bacchanalian madness. And there's this like religious cult situation, and the 3 women can kind of see past what is being told to the castle. Like all of these saints, these figures come and they're offering assistance, and they're like, worship us, we are your salvation, or whatever. And these 3 women are the ones who can see past it and understand what's really going on. But there's just like some description things happening that I don't even understand what's going on. Like one of these women is like in a crack in like the floor, like she's digging through and like finding a little bit of fresh air, and like I don't understand what's going on. But there's descriptions of bee things like the honey sliding down the pale skin dripping into the wine, and she hears the buzzing of bees inside her skull. There's been violent moments, there's been blood and things, but it doesn't feel necessarily horror scary. And I just wonder like how the vibes are going to continue. I'm just remembering, have the audiobook from Libro FM. If you haven't joined Libro FM, they're the best paid audiobook service out there. They support your local indie bookstore. I am like an influencer with them. So all that means is I get access to like early copies of books, ARCs in audiobook format, which is so incredible. So let me promote them for an extra second and tell you, if you are considering participating with audiobooks in this like Prime Day time, don't do that. Support Libro FM instead. I think I will switch to the audiobook because of the fantastical element. I think it'll help me like get into the story easier, because right now I do feel a little bit removed, but I do want to keep reading. So that's my update for now. Liam's update for now. We went to my parents. My mom made him a cake for his birthday that's peanut butter and marshmallow, like a bar as a whole cake. So we saw them, and then he's currently on the lake right now with a friend on his boat. So that's exciting. I have a 15-year-old now. Isn't that a little horrifying? Also, Liam has been so desperately awaiting the Jack Boys 2 album, and today, like just as he was leaving, so I texted him, but I think he's busy, he didn't see it yet. They dropped the first single. Like, it's on his birthday. I can't believe it. He's gonna be so excited. And I guess I'll update you at the end of the night. This might be more than a one-day read. I don't really know. I have finished The Starving Saints. Let's see what I've accomplished on the bingo board. Read a book in the dark. Yes, I was reading on the plane. It was very dark. I turned my light on in the first vlog. And I was like, oh my God, I'm disrupting people. Watch a scary movie. Oh my gosh. Okay, my family did. They went to 2 movies while we were in West Edmonton Mall. They went and saw, oh God, I don't know, Mission Impossible and Jurassic Park. So I feel like through osmosis, I have also seen a scary movie. Read a book with 6 words in the title. Yeah, no one dies at the wedding. No one was supposed to die at the wedding. Read a book that takes place in the desert. No. Read a thriller or horror. Yes. Bake a fall-inspired treat. No, but my mom did. Does that count? Listen to a Halloween playlist. I did not do that. Read a book outside. No, I was in the mall for 4 days straight. I'll read a book outside tomorrow. And then A Night Sky on the Cover. I've done that. So I don't have a... No, I do have a bingo. Let's move on to my review of The Starving Saints. No. Nope. Nah. This is not for me. Also, it gave me a paper cut, which I just think is incredibly disrespectful. So it's getting 2.5 stars. 3 just sounds too generous. And I know 2 sounds a little bit harsh. Oh my God, that's the part that cut me. I almost just cut myself on the chin. What I'll say about the Aardvark books, they're so soft. They're like almost spongy. They feel so good. But the dust jackets, they are sharp. They'll take your eye out. Did I explain what the book is? We have the 3 main characters, and the main focus is the fact that this castle is like under siege. Nobody wants to go outside. And in fact, the castle is full of people who are escaping the violence happening outside. And the people are starving, and there's a very limited amount of time before they run out of food. And one of our main characters has, I don't know, like, is she a witch? Is she a prophet? Is she like, she doesn't even know what she's doing, but she might have the ability to create food. And so that is bestowed upon her. She needs to do that for the castle. And then because she's not doing it fast enough, she is given like a supervisor who also doesn't want to be involved. So everybody's like forced into these things they don't want to be doing, and they all have these motivations. Number 1 is survival, but then also like there's certain revenge plot lines going on. There's a 3rd woman, and I told you their names already. And it's just them interacting throughout the book. When the Saints arrive, and the whole castle is like so easily taken by them is because like that is the religion of the castle. They're like, well, obviously these saints are here because we, you know, believe in them and we worked so hard, or they're here to save us and this is our salvation, whatever. And the woman who is a witch or whatever, and she doesn't even know how her own powers work or if she has powers. So she also doesn't even know if she is the one who brought the saints to the castle and if she's responsible for what's currently going on with them. But these three women can like see through the guise that the saints are creating, because the whole castle is kind of like hallucinating, and or they don't know and we don't know. The whole book is a fever dream. And I am a low plot, high vibe kind of girl. I like a lot of books like that. But there was something that just really did not work for me with this. The plot just needed to be easier to navigate. It was kind of difficult to read. I found myself having to reread sections and lines and sometimes chapters to grasp what was even happening. And I easily lose myself in a fever dream. And I just go along with it. And I'm like, whatever, good vibes. But I really couldn't. And I think maybe it was the writing that wasn't allowing me to do that, because a lot of times when it's about the vibes, the prose is just like stunning and it's beautiful and it's really atmospheric. And this, because there was no backstory of how anything was functioning, like really how the castle got into this situation, the women's backstories, the women's characterization, and just like the whole setting, it wasn't like beautifully described. It wasn't even thoroughly described. It was cold and I felt distant, and everything that I'm saying was the intent of the book. So it's harsh of me to give it the rating that I'm giving it, because it did want to just feel like you were hallucinating, because the characters don't know what's going on and neither do you, but I didn't have a fun time with that. What was good with the description was like how the castle felt, how the people felt. They were starving, they were struggling, they wanted to survive. Like the claustrophobia and the isolation, I felt that, but I can't picture a single thing that was actually going on in here, which is so strange. And because the whole book is just confused and it continues to ramp up and get more and more confusing, the whole problem with that for me is that it feels like nothing matters. Like if you can take back anything that you say 5 seconds after you say it, I don't feel invested anymore. If they're worried about someone dying and then they find the, a magical thing that can stop them from dying, it's like, why did I care about that thing? And now the next time you tell me, oh, something bad's about to happen, I don't believe you. So it lacked the tension that I really needed to like it. I would have liked the tension between the characters too, like more romantic, sexual, like lusty stuff, because all of these women had kind of romantic entanglements with each other, past and present, and I would have liked more of that, although I didn't really like anybody or feel connected to anybody, so maybe I didn't actually want it to be more about their relationships. But I'm just trying to think of like what I would change about this in order to love it, and I don't know. Between this and Lapvona, I just don't think that medieval horror is for me. I feel as though the book was saying certain things about religion and power and control and hunger, but the writing was fever dream wackadoodle. And so I just don't think that those two things were woven very well together. There was what the book wanted to say and what the book wanted to be, and I have to work way too hard to try to come up with my own answers to what the book was trying to say, and I shouldn't have to do that much heavy lifting. The characters all had like questionable motives, and I understand they were all blinded by like their hunger or their power or their lack of power, and so that's why the book felt the way that it did. I just didn't like it. At the end of the day, I didn't like it. I don't know what I'm reading tomorrow. I have absolutely no clue. I did talk to Erin about reading, like buddy reading, walking practice together, because I just remembered that I said I was going to read this during Summerween, but we'll see when that's going to happen. I did post asking you what thrillers you thought I should read, and I was expecting like some more recent releases, and a couple of those did pop up, but the book that was mentioned more than anything else was My Name is Maud Dixon, or Her Name is Maud Dixon, or something like that, which I think is a 2021 release, and I'm perplexed by why people are mentioning that one. Is it like a book that you've been thinking about for a while that I've needed to read? Or is it something you, like everyone has been reading recently that's like kind of a wild, incredible thriller? Maybe it's like that it's really similar to a lot of my favorite thrillers and you're like, how have you not read that one yet? And this was your opportunity to tell me too. So it's actually available at my local library branch. So maybe I'll pick that up. I have to take Liam and all of his friends to the beach tomorrow. I don't know if I'll have time to stop at the library. I don't know what I'm doing, but like I'll talk to you about it later. Hello and welcome to our beach day. Our beach day is not looking very promising, but I am on my way to pick up Liam and all of his friends to take them to the beach after their sleepover. So 15-year-olds are pretty resilient to the weather, I think. I don't believe the Wibbit shuts down unless it's like thunder storming. I guess we'll see. See how Summerween continues to be cursed? We had a fire, flight delay, I hurt myself on the water slides, my crumbled cookies didn't go to the right place. I finished a book I didn't like. What else has happened? Oh yeah, I woke up with my period. What the heck? I have really bad cramps, and even if I wanted to go swimming anyway, the weather's just not, it's not my favorite. So I'm gonna be useful instead while the boys are at the beach, and I'm gonna go to my local used bookstore and sell that laundry basket of books and see if they want any of them, because it's been sitting in the hallway for months now and I finally am getting it out of the house. So that's what I'll be up to. Maybe go to lunch. Rob's just, oh, and my battery's dead, of course. Rob's grabbing me a book from the library so I can start this. I'm not going to start it on the beach. I don't want it to get wet. Who is Maud Dixon? I feel like I've heard of this. Maybe it was in a Goodreads Choice Awards, but I think I'm going to start it without even reading the synopsis. Maybe at one point I knew what this was. I don't currently. Tell the cars to stop driving by and making all the noise. Oh, I didn't mean to do this because I was going to give this to my mom. And this is why you go through it all. Oh my God, and we can go book shopping. Woohoo! It's Summerween. I can buy books too. I didn't even think about that. Rob's grumpy because of the rain. Everyone tell him to cheer up.
I'm not grumpy because of the rain. Grumpy because I want to sleep. It's different.
Should we skip?
Go ahead. I'm carrying books.
Oh. What if I find a great book to read? Would you be so happy for me?
So happy. The happiest I've been since bedtime.
Okay, we're back. I didn't find any books that I wanted, but she took like 17 of my books. Didn't want the balloon animal erotica, which is shocking, obviously. But I think I did pretty good. Rob was the one standing there while she went through them all. You were trying to convince her, right? You were like, that's a good one.
I was like, that's a really good book.
Yeah, make sure you take
those
that
are
one
real
for
good
sure.
words right there.
Look, I made $71 in store credit. I did see the book that I'm currently reading or about to start reading, and I wish I'd already started it so I knew if I wanted to buy it or not, because then I could have bought it. But I guess we'll just go to the beach and I'll start it and I'll let you know how it goes. Do you want me to read it out loud to you?
No.
So you know what's going on.
Nope.
Oh.
Thanks for the offer though.
You're welcome. It's so wet and windy out here. I think in my thumbnail I'm just gonna put a sunny picture from last year.
He's so tall, he's just walking over the gaps. He's not even going around.
Obviously it'd be better if it was sunny, but like, imagine how many kids would be here if it was.
Yeah. Well, this will be more fun because it's so slippery now because everything is wet too.
Yeah. Clearly they're having a great time. I am not in the rain. I'm gonna sit in here and read this, and then I have towels laid out. Okay, my first impressions, 6 chapters in. I already have a theory, but I don't want to say it because if it turns out to be true, then I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So anyway, it seems to be like two things that I don't really love so far. One, an unbalanced power dynamic in a relationship. We have a woman who has gotten involved with a boss figure at her work. Don't love that. And I don't think it's not supposed to be like like we're not supposed to see it as romantic. I think it's just the story going from here. There's potential she could like blackmail him going forward because it was an unbalanced power dynamic that they got involved with. And also she is now seemingly obsessed with his wife and is like following her around, becoming really enamored by her and like copying her outfits and stuff. And I don't love that like obsessive woman trying to steal your life kind of thing. So I don't know. The writing is very intriguing. Like it's super readable. I am interested in continuing, but I do have one big theory, and I'm assuming people recommended this to me because there's a big twist, and I hope that I don't already know the twist. Tell my friends what you just said.
I said, if you think the way I talk to you is me, you just need to get bullied more.
It's crazy. I can't get a good picture of the sky, but it's so pretty.
Not as pretty as you.
You just told me I need to be bullied. What are you watching? I can see it in the reflection.
Oh, I don't know. It just restarted. It is Motorheads.
What were you watching?
Heads of State, the new movie with John Cena and... Who was it? John Cena and... Idris Elba.
Oh.
And Priya Chopra Jonas.
Maybe we should just film like this from now on, just our reflections.
I mean, if you get it on a 45-degree angle, we can do old school techniques of making movies without editing. We do live action in frame. A prism, a 45-degree mirror, we could do it.
You watch too many of those weird boys reacting to movies.
If only I had a prism. Do you ever like those things that like fit perfectly?
What'd you just say to me?
Do you like those? Do you ever watch those things that like satisfying? Because they fit perfectly?
No.
You don't get those on TikTok? Anyways.
Well, show the people then. I'm sure somebody would appreciate. It doesn't even fit perfectly. You shoved it in.
Look how perfect it is. You can shake it. It's one item.
No, I like when I put the recycling in and I put like the yogurt cup inside of something else, and then I also put a bunch of toilet paper rolls all inside the yogurt cup, so it's like a compact little recycling situation. Okay, I have gotten to the point in the book that I sense a reveal is coming, so I thought I would film myself reading the last 10 chapters. Basically, this woman has gotten into a precarious situation. It's not exactly the like stalking stolen identity situation that I thought it was, but it is actually still in that realm. So now, for the first time, I will read the synopsis. Florence is a low-level publishing employee who believes that she's destined to be a famous writer. She stumbles into a job as the assistant to a brilliant enigmatic novelist known as Maud Dixon. Okay, I didn't even know that's how it pitched it. So she becomes the assistant to this woman. The arrangement seems perfect. Florence quickly falls under Helen's spell. But when Florence wakes up in the hospital after a terrible car accident with no memory of the previous night and no sign of Helen, she's tempted to take a shortcut. Instead of hiding in Helen's shadow, why not upgrade into Helen's life? That's crazy because that like just happened. So there's only 10 chapters left and all that's happened is the entire synopsis. So I am now expecting like some pretty wild stuff to be revealed. The answer seems really obvious to me, and therefore it's not going to be. I feel confident in that. When books that are mysteries and thrillers get recommended to me, I often think to myself, should I read this just for me or should I save it for the book club? And this one, I do now at this point feel confident that it wouldn't. Perhaps the reveal, yes, will make for a good conversation, but the entire book as a whole, I don't think there's very many talking points that I would have come up with that I would have loved to discuss with everybody. So when a couple people were telling me to read it, I was like, is it that good that I should hold on to it? But anyway, so we're gonna find out exactly now that Florence has chosen this certain direction in life. The question is, who is Maud Dixon, because she's writing under a fake name. And everyone's like enamored with this author who nobody knows who it is. And then our main character is the only person who gets to meet this woman. And so there's just a lot of things that I'm assuming about Helen and Maud and Florence. And I can't wait to see if I'm right or if it's gonna knock my socks off. I really hope it surprises me. Right now, this is like a 4-star read. I'm having a really good time, even though nothing is really happening. She's just doing this assistant job. People are questioning her about who she is at this point. And now let's get into the juicy bit. Yeah. I have a theory. There better be another twist coming, because, okay. That definitely lacked the shock value that I was hoping for, but it did have mystery elements and thrilling elements, so it had that going for it for sure. It was very action-packed towards the end. There was a lot going on. Nothing in here was surprising, which is unfortunate, but it was still really well written and well constructed. And if you're the type of person who reads a mystery or thriller book and you don't mind not being surprised, because the ending is something that makes sense, like you appreciate a book more so for how it leads you to the answer and everything like is explained, then I think you could really appreciate this. I feel like it's a 4 just because like it's really engaging and I found it interesting the whole time. And if I had gotten like the big reveal moment, then it could have been a 5. But a 4 feels good. It definitely feels on par with the 2 mysteries that I read in the first vlog. So that is where we're ending today's vlog. And I guess the last one is going to be the last 3 days of Summerween, because in total this one's 8 days. Yeah, so thank you for the recommendation. I'm going to be doing reading sprints and reading walking practice live if you're watching this vlog on the day that it comes out, if you're a channel member. And then I also have another short horror that I'm considering. I also think I might read When the Wolf Comes Home. And I have that one book by Cobby Ben that I was supposed to read, No One Dies Yet. So I don't know if I can fit all of that in for 3 days, but maybe. Either way, I will see you soon with my last vlog of Summerween. I hope it's going well for you. See ya!